Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering book writing tips. It's so easy to beat yourself up when writing a book. It's so easy, but don't do it. Writing a book is tough. It's a tough thing, but stick with it and good things will happen. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to cut out distractions, how to better focus in book writing, and how to give yourself some grace. And stay tuned until the end of the video for an opportunity I really think you're going to enjoy. Let's dive in. It's so easy in book writing to beat yourself up, to get frustrated by things taking longer than you anticipated, by writing a book that didn't resonate the way you wanted it to. It's a challenge and a struggle, and it will test you in so many different ways when you write a book. You really need to stay patient and you need to give yourself grace. Pat yourself on the back. You're doing the best you can. And even by watching this video, you're interested in learning more. You're not content. You want more. You want more out of your book, and you want more out of your life, and you want more out of everything out there. And it's so valuable that you're open and exploring that and seeing what else is out there. There's so much on the opposite side of book writing, on publishing your book and sending your message out into the world. And, I want you to just pat yourself on the back, like you're doing the best you can. And as you arm yourself with tactics and strategies like the ones in this video, you're going to find yourself really empowered, and coming alive with this book writing process. So stick with it. Just keep soaking in knowledge wherever you can, including this video. And it's exciting. It's exciting when it finally unlocks. A big obstacle with book writing is focus or lack of focus. Focus is crucial in book writing. You need focus in order to stay committed to this. You need to be able to stick to it again and again and again, and build good habits and build momentum around those habits to keep going. Which requires you to have a deep sense of purpose inside, saying, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is a hard thing. Writing a book is a huge challenge, and it's easy to want to give up. So you really need to build good habits and have a reason for them. And having focus is huge because it allows you to make the most of the time that you have in the writing process. When you don't have focus, you're unfocused, easily distracted. How much writing can you get done? You really need to put the blinders on. You need to, pause the notifications on your phone, turn off the alarm, do whatever you can to just focus in for 10, 20, 30 minutes a day. If you can do that, you're going to make a lot of progress. Focus just also means recognizing the things that are taking away your focus. Maybe it's not digital notifications, maybe it's something else. It can be anything. It really can. So it's really important for you to think about it. Think about the obstacles getting in your way. Are there tech issues? Are there internet issues? Are different programs frustrating you and challenging you and making you want to quit? Take away the things that are getting in the way and making things difficult. When I write a book, I really focus on the foundation first. There's this back and forth in the writing community about whether you want to write first without outlining and whether you want to, forge ahead that way, or if you really want to structure things out. And I think that book writing, in order to be effective, requires a structured creativity, a structured creative license, that there's some element where you're allowed to explore the space of the story, but at the same time, you're tethered, you're pulled in, you're reined in just a little bit. Because if you're untethered, you're all over the place. Where are you going to focus next? If you have an outline, you can actually focus and say, okay, I'm going to write chapter 7 today. I'm going to work on chapter 12. I'm going to chapter 1. Whatever the case may be, you have a focus. You have this thing that's telling you, okay, we're going to do this today. When you don't outline, the writing you do could end up being not useful at all and not even in the project. Just a waste of time and effort. And I just think having some structure can help to maintain focus, as we talked about. It can help you maintain your focus on building momentum with the book instead of writing things that might not end up in the book at all. Another important tip is to clarify your book's message. What is your book's message, and how is a reader going to carry it forward with them into the world? How are they going to respond after they read their book? What are they going to tell somebody if they get asked about your book? This is really called your book hook, and it's a crucial exercise. You need to know what your book is about in a sentence and how it can help people. And if you can't describe it in a sentence or two, you really need to go back to the drawing board and figure it out, because you don't really have a book. It's so, so important to really figure out your book's message, to figure out your book's outline, to figure out the audience. All those things can make the writing process easier. And it's great to be able to build that foundation early going to really empower you in the writing process. One of my biggest lessons with book writing is don't cut corners. Don't cut corners. That means don't use AI text as you're writing. You can use AI in a lot of different ways. Don't use it to build out your story because you want to rush. And it also means when you go through the production process, when you work with an editor, when you work with other professionals, don't cut corners. Don't get low-grade professionals just because you want to rush it forward. You don't want to just get a hand stamp. You want people to challenge you to write the best possible book. Don't cut corners. If you cut corners, you're liable to write a book and publish a book that doesn't resonate the way you think it will. It's going to miss out on its intent, its impact, its purpose, because of the fact that it doesn't really convey what you want it to convey. When someone picks up the book and they just see errors all over the place, they're going to say, I wish this person had worked with a better editor. It reflects poorly on you. And again, like going back to this bigger piece, in a sense, a book is a long-term commitment to yourself. It's a long-term commitment to a story. You know, this is not a quick hit. This is a long-term thing. This is a forever thing. If that thing's going to be around forever, you want to get it right. You want to spend the time to do it right. And if it takes a little longer, it takes a little longer. This isn't about vanity. This isn't about glamour. This isn't about fame. This is about putting out the best possible message and story that you can into the world. If you spend the time to do it right, if you work with professionals, you know, if you really take the time to do the hard work with purpose tied into it, good things are going to happen. You know, it's just a matter of doing all those things, you know, and getting to that stage when you have this powerful message to share and you know, it's as strong as possible because you sent, you know, it's great to be able to get this message, take this message and spend the time to get it right. So the message can be put out into the world in its strongest form, its most powerful form, and have the best impact possible. If you want to learn more about book writing tips, there's another video I think you should check out. I'll link to it on the screen. It's called Steps to Writing a Book. In that video, I focus really deeply on settling on a book subject, of gathering materials for the book, and how to keep going when facing writing obstacles. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.